Hey Timmy, how was school today? It was great today, Dad. In fact, can I go camping this weekend with my girlfriend? Absolutely, son. In fact, why don't you take the the Cybertruck out? Gee, Dad, really? Absolutely, Timmy. Matter of fact, it's got bear-proof glass, and guess what? It's got a queen-size mattress. Gee, Dad, you're the best. So back in November, a bunch of us in the investment community basically joined a live stream and we watched the unveil of the Cybertruck, and we watched the side windows get broken, we watched the quad get put in the back, and that was our first look at what was going to become of the truck for Tesla. A lot of us were speculating, what it was going to look like, and I don't think any of us thought it was going to look like what it did. So why don't we scroll down here and take a look at, a little more in depth what this thing looks like from the side. It does kind of look like an obtuse triangle a little bit. If you don't know what that is, basically here it is right here. So, after seeing this for about a week and a half now, it's not as bad as I thought. It's still bad, don't get me wrong, and I've made some improvements, and we'll go over those in a minute, what I think they should have did, but who knows? I don't know who designed this thing. So exoskeleton, Cybertruck is built with an exterior shell made for ultimate durability and passenger protection, starting with a nearly impenetrable exoskele. Every component is designed for superior strength and endurance, from an ultra-hard 30x cold-rolled stainless steel structure skin to Tesla armor glass, which apparently they didn't stick in the demo model, unless it really was, I don't know, but it seemed like somebody cheaped out on it. That cold-rolled steel is kind of an interesting thing, because the last car we've ever seen with that was the DeLorean from the 80s, actually. I think the DeLorean came out in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. But if anybody remembers the Back to the Future movie, that was a DeLorean. Technically, you don't paint this, so you wouldn't really see a painted DeLorean. I have seen a painted one, and I don't know what they did, but maybe there's some new techniques nowadays in 2019, but I'm hoping that Tesla doesn't keep this stainless steel. If they want to offer in a stainless steel version, that's great, but I think this would look better in black. So that's just my opinion, maybe even possibly white. Let's go ahead and scroll down here. And this is the exoskeleton they're talking about with the cold rolled stainless steel. Must weigh a ton. And there's kind of a view of it on the track, because it's so quick for being a truck. So it's got that tri-motor in it that makes it super fast, faster than 911 Porsche. It's got that Tesla armor glass in there, ultra strong glass and polymer layered composite, can absorb and redirect impact force for improved performance and damage tolerance. Interesting. What are they going to do? Start bringing around the POTUS in one of these things? FUGLY. Versatile utility. With up to 3,500 pounds of payload capacity and adjustable air suspension, Cybertruck is the most powerful tool we have ever built. Engineered with 100 cubic feet of exterior, lockable storage, magic tenure cover that is strong enough to stand on. Interesting. Versatile utility. Vault-like storage, space for your toolbox, tire, and cyberquad. With room to spare, utilizing 100 cubic feet of exterior lockable storage, including the underbed, funk, what is that, and sail pillars. What is a funk? Oh, a frunk, a front trunk. Look at that, Tesla's even in the trailer market now. Versatile utility, rugged strength. With the ability to pull near infinite mass and towing capacity of over 14,000 pounds, Cybertruck can perform in almost any extreme situation with ease. Now, granted, it actually looks pretty good when it's towing a trailer that's meant for it. Can you imagine towing, just a Winnebago or something, behind that thing, or whatever, whoever makes, a trailer behind that to be kind of awkward, at least in my opinion. So you better get the Tesla model. Versatile utility again, adaptive air suspension. I hope that's air suspension, because otherwise that quad weighs 20,000 pounds. Raise and lower suspension 4 inches in either direction for easy access to Cybertruck or the Vault, while self-leveling capabilities adapted to any occasion and assists with every job. Basically what they're saying is a lowrider is built in. Hello, Compton. Versatile utility, flexible interior. Seat 6 comfortably with additional storage under the second row seats, complete with an advanced 17-inch touchscreen with an all-new customized user interface. Look at that steering wheel. I mean, actually that looks like an airplane cockpit, joystick, control stick thingamajigger to me, So these seats don't look too bad in my opinion. It might actually do a little bit better with some Recaros in there, but yeah, whatever. Maybe they're leather, maybe they're not. And look at that, it comes equipped with a gun rack for you, farm enthusiast. From rugged to refined, Cybertruck is completely adaptable for your needs. Prepare for every experience with a versatile utilitarian design, including onboard power and compressed air. Look at that, folks. You can go camping in this thing and it literally just blends right in. That stainless steel just blends right in just like camo does. So at first glance, when we saw this vehicle, what would it look like? I could compare it to a couple of ugly vehicles that I first saw in my life, like a Gremlin or so. I don't know if anybody remembers a Gremlin, but it was pretty much one of the most ugly cars that was ever made. So I put that Cybertruck right up there with that. Let's bring another one up here. How about the Ford Pinto? Well, that was another ugly one. Yeah, and both my grandparents owned one of those. So if anybody remembers those, then yeah, that was a pretty ugly car. But besides the Gremlin and the Pinto, I have a better one for you. How about a K car? Why would I compare a K car to the Cybertruck? Well, because the Cybertruck, if you look from the side, you really can't tell if it's going backwards or forwards. And when I was growing up, I called these old K cars backwards and forwards cars because that's exactly what they look like. You can't tell if it's going forwards or backwards. Let's get a little bit closer here, folks. You with me? Here we are, not quite a Pinto, not quite a Gremlin, not quite a K car, but another ugly atrocity, an Aztec. But we are getting closer, aren't we? Here we go, folks. This is pretty much the closest thing that we've ever made to the Cybertruck. And this is an Avalanche. And the reason why I compared Avalanche to the Cybertruck is because of this little part right here. So there's not too many cars with that. I think that Honda makes one that's similar to that as well, but that is about as close as we've had to a Cybertruck yet. So we've come a long ways from the 1960s. Here is a truck with a camper on it from the 1960s. And this is an old Ford with a camper on it. Campers really haven't changed much over the years. So what the heck would a camper look like on a Cybertruck? Well, lucky for you, I put one together. And there we go, folks. There is your beloved Cybertruck with a Lance camper shell on it. Look at that. It's amazing. It's a perfect fit. It looks like it was made for it. So, with the payload capacity in this Cybertruck, which is 3,500 pounds, that will meet all your camper needs. You don't even need a dually. So, in the States, if you bought a Ford or a Chevy or a Ram or Dodge, I should say, you would probably end up needing a dually in order to carry one of these things. So let's go ahead and take a look at, wow folks, here we go. We got some action footage of the Cybertruck on the track because this thing is faster than a 911 Porsche. So watch out, folks. Anyone looking at street race? How about radio race? This truck can race in anything. You want to race a lowrider? Now entering a new class of strength, speed, and versatility only possible with an all-electric design, the powerful drivetrain and low center of gravity provides extraordinary traction control and torque, enabling an acceleration from 0 to 60 in as little as 2.9 seconds and up to 500 miles of range. Now that 500 miles of range is actually for, I believe, just the tri-model, if I'm not mistaken here, because that single motor RWD, which is rear wheel drive, only gets 250 miles. So let's take a look at the dual motor here. Dual motor is 300. Okay, well the tri-motor is 500 miles. So you need the tri-motor to get that 500 miles. Otherwise you're gonna be pulling over to get gas. Plug in. So here are the specs for the Cybertruck, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. Okay, now if you want to go slow as a Volkswagen on the single motor rear wheel drive version, 0 to 60 is 6.5 seconds, all right? And that dual motor all-wheel drive is 4.5 seconds. All right, getting close to a Shelby Cobra now. And look at this, tri-motor all-wheel drive. 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds. That is amazing. I don't know what this thing weighs, but I can tell you there's sedans. I looked it up the other day. One of their sedans weighs over 5,500 pounds, so I can tell you this thing must weigh 7,000 pounds is my guess. 7,500 pounds probably, so I could not find a spec for it, but I assume that this thing weighs a ton. If you hit a vehicle in this thing, you will probably kill everybody in that car. So hopefully this thing's got airbags in it, and hopefully if you ever hit anybody in this thing, that the person that you hit has airbags, because this thing is a tank. So if you want to order a Cybertruck, how much actually is one of these things? Well, all right, so the tri-motor option here is just $70,000. If you want to add the self-driving feature, it's actually another $7,000. Now you do get some tax credits, so you better order soon. So just $100, you can reserve one of these things. You can be in line with one of those 250,000 people that reserve one of these buggers. So there you go. That's the Cybertruck. So here is a modification that I made to their truck, which I think looks 1,000 times better than their design. So it looks like it has a true bed on it. Looks like a true truck to me. What do you think? You like their version or do you like my version? All kidding aside, folks, actually, I'm, just kind of tearing the truck up. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments, would you buy one of these? Has the looks grown on you? The looks actually have grown on me a little bit. I'm not sold on completely everything. I don't think I'd pay 70 grand for one. I don't know if the price is gonna come down or not. But I'll tell you what, I'm actually super excited to see more about this quad. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.